Hi everyone. The topic today is to determine the influence of virtual reality on consumers' preference for citrus-treated antibiotics. The motivation for the studies is that traditional method of information provision and consumers' valuation were using low immersive technique to provide information to consumers. And then those techniques such as narrative, audio, and video, they generally lack realistic and realness. And then people are really constrained by a lack of visual emotion that really affect the way they value the products. Those types of techniques generally lead also to low effect size of the results. So another constraint of this technique is that complexity is unaddressed, and complexity is shown as affecting how consumers value the product because of cognitive uncertainty, as shown by Martinez Skinner and Opera. Another constraint is that individuals tend to maintain the status quo as a result because of risk perception. So low immersive virtual environmental technique, as I was described earlier, has addressed a lot of gaps, but however, they are still constrained by a lack of experience that affect our consumers' value products, and also they are prone to error due to distraction, and also we are exposed to partial compliance because someone may start watching a video and decide to start or might be distracted. So we believe that high immersive virtual environment can be a game changer because it can reduce cognitive uncertainty, providing a more accurate valuation, and also can increase realness, which has the same effect. So our research question consists of determining uh, the comparative effectiveness of virtual reality compared to the traditional method in influencing consumers' risk perception, behavior, and valuation of product. We will use this study in the context of our citrus industry, where they are using a controversial method to uh, treat a disease called one bean. So the antibiotics that they are using, it's a controversial method because it can lead to disease, it can affect the environment. But however, it's the only solution that so far exists to control the spread of the disease. So on the other hand, it's controlling the disease might provide some benefits to the consumers because it can decrease dependence on citrus imports. And then according to some studies, Americans value the domestic citrus compared to imported citrus from countries like Brazil and other countries. So our specific objectives for this study would be to determine how virtual reality affects consumers' perception and valuation of product. And number two is to see how the level of alertness about the lethality of the disease affects how consumers value this product, the use of antibiotics in citrus production. So our main contribution would be first to provide information about how consumers value antibiotics in citrus. It's going to be the first studies, to the best of our knowledge, on the use of antibiotics in crops. Number two is going to be, it's going to contribute also to explain the effect of the use of virtual reality, the effectiveness of virtual reality as compared to traditional method of information provision. So we have three hypotheses. Mainly, we believe that high immersive virtual environment might lead to a lasting change, might decrease how the risk perception, and might lead to more acceptance. For our experimental design, we use a complete randomized control experiment, and then with a lottery-based incentive of 10%. We will have three treatment group and one control group. The first treatment group will be a low immersive group, which will differ by the first group only by the fact that they have a lower dosage of information. The T2 would be informed via avatar, but we have the same level of dosage of T1. T3 will be informed via virtual reality, but we have the same level of dosage of information as the other groups. So we'll have 5 phases in our studies. We'll collect demographic data, baseline data, and at phase 3, we will conduct the auction, the BDM auction, and at phase 4, sending the prize to the winners. And phase 5, we do follow-up study to update our information. So our outcome implication is that we believe that This study will inform about the instrumentality of information, and it would inform about the effectiveness of Hive as a new emerging method or to for cognitive uncertainty to reduce bias in valuation studies and